All right, so we're back for the second session on the 10 doctrines of the Christian faith. And if you remember last time, it was theology proper, which is doctrine of God, bibliology, which is doctrine of Scripture, Christology, which is the doctrine of Christ, pneumatology, which is the doctrine of the Spirit, and angelology, which is the doctrine of angels. And now we have the last five of the total 10. I would say that of these 10, you could locate any doctrine of the Christian faith somewhere within this rubric. So these all serve as kind of like a hook, something that you can operate from in building what is called systematic theology. Anyway, so here are the last five. The first one is anthropology, and this would be the doctrine of man. And here we would discuss the nature of man as being created in God's image, male and female, man and woman, that we are created by God, that we are stewards of creation, that creation is not there for us to be abused, and that there is a difference between humans, men and women, and all the rest of creation. We discuss those kinds of things. Then you would discuss the topic of hamartiology, which is the doctrine of sin. And here we would discuss the nature and existence of original sin as well as our own personal sins. One definition we would talk about is sin is any want of conformity to or transgression of the law of God. Of course, we would talk about that in hamartiology. And then we would talk about soteriology. And soteriology is the doctrine of salvation. And here we would talk about the nature of salvation, the nature of, say, something like election, or the nature of the ordo salutis, or the order of salvation. Is regeneration necessary? What's the role of faith? What's the role of repentance? And the list goes on and on. But soteriology is the doctrine of salvation. And then you have ecclesiology. And ecclesiology is the doctrine of the church. And church just means called out ones. And so this would be the doctrine of the church in the sense that what is the church? What's its role in the world? What has God called it to do? We would speak of the issues like the church being the bride of Christ. We would see it as the agent of God's will on earth. And then you would talk about even things like church government, whether or not you believe in a pope, or you believe in congregational form of church government, or elder rule, things along those lines. So we would cover that in the doctrine of the church, or in ecclesiology. And then the last one is eschatology, which is the study of the last things. And so this often takes you to the book of Revelation, portions of Daniel and Zechariah. And you would talk about things like the tribulation, talk about the rapture or the Lord's second coming, talk about the millennium. And then, of course, there's plenty in there to talk about, because some people would say that all this is already fulfilled, and some people would say a lot of it is still yet to come. And so that's what you would discuss in eschatology, the doctrine of the end times, or the doctrine of last things. So between the first five in the first video and these five, these are the 10 major doctrines of the Christian faith. And then as we have discussions, as we make more videos, we're going to be delving into these. If there's something specific that you would like me to address first, or something perhaps I haven't addressed yet on a particular topic or doctrine, by all means, drop a comment below. I'll take a look at it and see what we can do about putting together a video that would be able to suit that need. Anyway, again, my name is Peter. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. So if you like this video, maybe you'd like some others. Take a look around.